Hello there. Today we're going to do another little video on how to dodge and burn in Photoshop. It's a fantastic little technique just to add highlights and shadows into your images. You really do boost your images up by doing this. There'll be a couple of other little tips along the way. So, yeah, let me just open up OBS and Photoshop and I'll be with you in a second. So OBS is running. If you want free software to record screen, OBS Studio is brilliant. Now, as you can see, Photoshop has just updated and we have got this home screen. If you want to get rid of this home screen, you can just double click on the little PS sign here and it will go off. Or if you come up to image, now edit, come all the way down to preferences and then into general. When this opens up, you'll have a little icon here, checked auto show the home screen. If you want to check that and click OK, next time we open this it should go off. It should. So we're going to open up our first image, which is a beautiful little picture of a little owl that I shot a couple of years ago in some plant pots. The image is absolutely lovely. I do love this image. I've just opened up the JPEG file. I did a little edit on it in Camera Raw earlier, so it's just a JPEG now to get on quicker. And as you can see, it is a beautiful, beautiful little image. And if we zoom in, you see the owl is absolutely pin sharp. It was shot with the Canon 5D Mark IV and a 300 f2.8 lens, which I absolutely love. It's so sharp, so sharp. But yeah, we're going to get into this dodge and burn, and the idea with dodge and burn is you can add highlights and shadows anywhere you want on the image. There's loads of ways to do this. You can either use a curves adjustment and then add layer masks and adjust that way, or an easier way, a simple way that I find is, if we, first of all, I'm going to hold Control and J just to duplicate the layer, the background layer down here. And if we now come down to the icon next to the little recycle bin, hold Alt and then click your mouse, you will come up with this little box here. If we change the mode to, you can change it to anything. You can darken, you can lighten. I'm going to select overlay, and this gives you the option to fill with overlay neutral 50% grey. So check this little box as well and click OK. Now we're going to select a brush tool. I tend to have a fairly soft brush with this. I'm going to set the hardness to, no, actually I'm going to leave it down. Set the hardness to 0, I've just got a soft brush. The size of the brush you can adjust with the bracket keys next to the letter P on your keyboard. The right key will make things bigger and the left key will make it smaller. So the idea now is we want to add shadows and highlights into this image. So I'm going to make a slightly smaller brush and I'm going to start off where it is bright. You can just see in here just a little highlight. Before I start, opacity I'm going to turn down to 15% and leave the flow right up. We're now going to just very gently first things first, we are going to select white on top. And we're going to just highlight just inside this little pot. And again, just in here, just a little bit. Just to make that pop. And if we just turn off the layer, looks like the laptop's playing up again. Yeah, definitely is. Definitely is. I'm now going to just lighten up a few little bits on this pot, just to make them stand out. As you can see, as I'm doing this, I'm just going to be rough with this, because it is a rough, ragged old pot. I'm also going to just lighten this rim slightly. There. Now I'm going to come over to this one and just put a bit of highlight along there. I'm going to lighten up this white area, just to make that stand out. Same with just here. These little bits. It is just to try and make this pot pop just a little bit. Now onto this one. As you can see now, this one is catching the light, so we haven't got that much to do, but I'm going to just brighten the colours a little bit. And I think that could be as far as I want to go with these pots. The rest of it is quite bright, so I'm literally just going to put a bit of darkness into this, I think. Let's just lighten up a little bit here. So I'm going to try and darken this down. Make my brush larger, and I want to just brighten up this foreground. Just a bit. Just a little bit. Right. So now, to change from white to black, just press the X key, and you can see a little swatch has changed over. I'm now going to leave the brush quite big because I just want to darken down some of this tree trunk. As you can see, where the dark areas, they go really dark. Now we're going to make this little brush a little bit smaller, and we're going to add a bit of dimension into this pot. Also I'm going to darken down this rim. We have got a bright edge just along the edge of it, so I'm just going to darken into the centre. Same with this one. I lightened up the edge there and the edge down here. So I'm now just going to put a little bit of darkness into the centre of this. If you think you need a bit more white, just click the X and you can come back in and you can darken, or you can brighten back up again. I'm also going to put a thin black line, or not black, darker line, just underneath this bright area, just to try and give that little bit of dimension into this pot. There are little bits in the pot we can darken as well. If you think it's a bit too over the top, two options. You can either Control and Z and you can undo what you've just done, or you can later adjust the opacity over here and reduce it. The way I like to do it is come up and just drop your opacity down, say 6%, and then just come over a couple of times just to add that a little bit more without overdoing it, and then just come back up to around 15% and you're ready to crack on. So now I think we're going to just add a little bit more darkness there, a bit of shadow around the edge, there, And then what I like to do is the actual shadows that are on here, just come in with a small brush and just darken them down a bit. Just to give that little 3D effect. This will really boost your images. It's a simple way to do it. You need a little bit of patience and time, so it does take time to do. But the results are fantastic. As I say, there's different ways to dodge and burn. An old favourite of mine was using the curves layer. You can just open up the curves, move the white way up, open up another layer, take the darks right down, put layer masks on, and you can adjust that way. But this I find is easier, and you can get a very precise edit doing it this way. And literally just by darkening up the edge of this pot with that light background, you can see the separation there between the pot and the background. You do get that depth with the images. Just going to darken a line there. I think that is pretty much it. I'm not sure if I need to do anything on the bird. The bird looks absolutely beautiful. So, if we turn off the layer mask, you can see, if I turn on and off, you see exactly what we've just done. And now it has just put that bit of an extra dimension into your image. It is an absolutely fantastic way to do it. There's loads of ways to do it. It's up to you as how far you want to go as well. If you want to darken all this bright area, you can. You can literally just select a massive brush. It's just having a big brush, and you can just darken this down just to take some of that brightness out. And then you can even just maybe lighten up the bird a fraction. And that was a bit too much, so I'm going to drop the opacity 5% and literally just run over the bird. You can brighten up the bird if you want to brighten up this pot. You can, and the same with this. Just by using different opacities you can get stronger or weaker effects, and it will make a massive difference. We'll just turn this layer on and off now. As you can see now, your eyes straight away go straight for the area around here, which is quite bright. Whereas now by just darkening a fraction, your eyes are now coming into the bird, because you have lit the bird up as well. Another option for you is you can select the marquee tool. You can put in, well, we don't want the square one, do we? See, when I get updates, it just screws all your settings up. What you normally use, you can just literally right click to feather it, and I'll feather this at 200 pixels, and I'm going to select inverse. Now Control and L to open up a levels layer. I mean, literally you can just darken down the entire background. I'm just going to darken to fraction. Select inverse again. Come on. And you can again Control and L to open up this levels layer. And move it out of the way. If it'll drag. And you can then brighten up the L and the centre of the image. Or just go a little fraction there. Deselect to get rid of that. And again, if we have a look, you can see now that as the image is white all over, what we've done is we've just brightened up where the owl is and these pots. just to make your viewer's eye go straight to the owl. Looks beautiful, looks beautiful. So what we're going to do now is, I'll just save this, because I do like what I've just done to it. Let's just rename it done. And we're going to open up another image. It's the same bird, but from a different angle now. As you can see now, when you close that, the home screen is gone. So you can just double click on your screen and bring up the folder that you want. Select the image, and here we have our next little image. Let's fill the screen. Again, you can see the whole image is just one brightness all the way around. So we're going to try and boost it so that the owl and these pots do stand out from the background. When you're shooting a shot like this, you've got to try and remember as well that the owl, they need breathing room where the owl's looking. So although the owl is looking sort of this way, it doesn't matter to have a big area over here because you've got room for the owl to have a look into. So compositionally, if you've got an animal or a person, whichever way they're looking, leave room so the viewer gets an idea of they're looking into something rather than just looking to blank edge of the frame. So again, what we're going to do with this is we are going to open up, we're going to come down to layer, hold Alt and click select, back up to normal, click overlay and fill with 50% grey. We're going to select a brush. First job is I'm going to change the little background to black, and I'm just going to darken in some of this because I don't want this taking distraction from the bird too much. So just roughly. So now select X and I'm going to make the brush smaller, and we are going to add a little bit of brightness in here. I'm going to highlight the edge of the pot just to make this pop a little bit. I'm just going to do this quickly. It's if you do get this on your screen, you can either just sort of come down or you will just paint over it anyway. Just going to up the opacity, it's not quite going fast enough for me. Let's try 20%, it's better. And the same here, I'm going to just add some of these little bits of white bits in. The same on this, just to put a little bit of detail here. It is just to detract from all the brightness over this side. You can, if you want to, just add little bits in here, there and everywhere if you want. Little bits aren't going to distract too much. So now we're going to switch over to black. First thing I'm doing is I'm putting a black line around that edge. I'm going to come into the centre with a bit of black. Same in here. Down here. Maybe there. I think that is pretty much all the dodge and burn I need to do. If we just close this, we can see. And the thing now, the bird is just the same exposure as the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, come down to around about 6% again, select our white brush. I'll make the brush bigger, and I am just going to paint over the bird. Just because I want the bird just to be a little bit brighter. And now if you look, you can see the bird is just starting to brighten up a little bit. And as you look back, this side of the image now is just looking that bit brighter, which is what I want. So my next thing, I'm going to select M again. We're going to open up a ellipse just around these pots and the bird. Again, we're going to feather it 200 pixels. And I'm going to select inverse, because I do want to darken down the background. So, Control L, and as you can see again, we can go away. Now we've got to be careful. As you can see now, the colours have really boosted with this. So again, another reason not to go too much. Literally, I like to just go a little tiny bit, and then back up a fraction. Like that. Right click again on the screen, select inverse again. Control L, and this time we're just moving inside the ellipse. So again, it is just see it moving a fraction. The reason the histogram is like this is because we're in a layer, on a layer mask. You can still just brighten the scene a fraction. There. Click deselect to get rid of that. And if you now have a look, you can see now the bird looks dark, and now we look bright. So whereas now your eyes would be going here on the original image, your eye now will be leading straight to the bird and this side of the frame. And that is how I just do a little bit of dodge and burn in Photoshop, just to make your images just pop and to guide your viewer's eyes to where you want them to be. Could be in the centre frame, could be to the left, could be to the right, could be right in the corner. If that's where you want the viewer to look first, right in that area, and just darken the rest. I hope this little video has helped. If you've got any questions, drop me a comment in the comment section, and I'll try and help you out with it. It's really effective. It's quick. It's simple. It really is. It will transform your images. It's fantastic. It is. I am hoping to get out with little Rosie. Rosie's growing. The wind that we've just had, we've had this massive storm yesterday and this morning, and there's trees down everywhere. The wind has wound Rosie up like she's possessed, absolutely possessed. She's now in a crate, sulking because I've locked her away. Can't do anything with her. She's just so hyper, her head's so worked up, it's unbelievable. But yeah, I am hoping to get out with her later when the wind dies off, and hopefully get some photographs and a couple of videos done. Please, if you like the image, give me a thumbs up. If you like the image, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you're getting any benefit from the videos, please subscribe. It's free. It's shocking when you look at the analytics. Only about 20-30% of people actually subscribe to videos or subscribe to content creators. If you want to support any content creator that you follow, subscribe to them, and it helps the algorithm. It shows the algorithm that people like the videos that they're producing and the content, and it just helps to boost their number of views that they can get on YouTube. I'll drop these two images on for you now. Again, give me a thumbs up if you like them. I'm going to try and get, as I say, out with Rosie. We've had a lot going on at home and stuff, so we've been stuck in the house. There are links down in the description as well, below. Until next time, take it easy, and I'll catch you soon on an adventure out somewhere, me and Rosie, at an epic location. Enjoy the images. Catch you later.